Hello and welcome to the DHIS2 Community End of Year 2025 event. Today we have people or community members participants or members who have been active and helpful in the community, and they are basically going to talk about their story in the community. And the presentations were really good. We selected 4 speakers this time, and after the community presentations, we'll have a session with Kai from the DHIS2 extensibility team talking about some new developer news, and we'll have a fun mentee activity. Then after that, I'll be sharing COP highlights, basically the top 10 active members in the year 2025 and other COP highlights that you might find interesting. So to begin with, I'm going to hand off the screen to Mayamiko. Yes, thank you. We can see you and hear you. Thank you.
Great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the end of year celebration. My name is Mayamiko Menda. Today, I'll be walking us through my experience learning, applying, and sharing how the DHIS2 community sparked my projects and writing. So, for those of you who do not know me or this is your first interaction with me, I am a strategic information officer coming from the Center of Infectious Disease Research in Zambia. And if you'd like to connect with me, please feel free to do so on the following platforms, whether it's X, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, and more importantly, to Community of Practice. So if I was to give you an overview of my journey, my DHIS2 journey, from where I started to where I am, I first started off by joining the DHIS2 Academy. And when I joined the DHIS2 Academy, it became a recommendation that my manager told me to work through. And I learned the fundamental principles of what makes DHIS2 DHIS2. So understanding the core concepts. And from there, I noticed that I could actually be part of the community of practice. And I saw how people have different experiences, people from around the world have different things to share. So I also noticed that people have projects. Some people would write articles and post them on the community of practice. So I saw that as an opportunity for me to learn, and I also wanted to do something similar. So from there, I started my writing stage where I was considering writing. And I remember asking a question on the community of practice um, if it was okay for me to start writing. And from there, I noticed that there was room for me to do that. And I started to give back. So currently, I'm in a stage where I'm giving back to the community of practice for the purpose of allowing peers to have discussions and for others to learn from my experience. So, if I was to summarize what I'm just from sharing, the academy gave me the solid foundation on understanding things like metadata indicators and how to analyze data with DHIS2. While the community of practice gave me this real world concept and context on what really happens on the ground. So, coupled with my experience, I have benefited a lot from the community of practice and the academy. And the outcome of this led to me being featured on the DHIS2 Learners' Voices. And that taught me one thing: learning publicly accelerates growth. And you can see here from the image that that's the post where I was tagged as one of the learner voices who did a lot of courses on the DHIS2 community, on the DHIS2 Academy. So this image here is a use case of how you can apply your DHIS2 knowledge. So if we were to break this image down, we could break it down into 2 parts. You can have DHIS2 as one concept or one part of the illustration, and then you can have a BI part. And this primarily shows that DHIS2 is interoperable. And it means that you can use DHIS2 with so many different platforms. So here on my left, we have the metadata setup, and this is mainly just you having an overview of what you'll be doing. So whether it's you receiving a register and you looking at the variables that you need to create in the DHIS2 system, it means you have to look at the right variables and making sure that the variables have the right values attached to them. So whether it's a name having a text field, a date having a date field, and so on and so forth. So this simplifies the tool that you're going to be using. It simplifies your actual design of the tool. And once you decide on what type of tool you're going to design, you then design the tool, whether it's an aggregate or a tracker data collection tool, you then test that tool. So you test it on your own just to make sure that the logic is working well, your program rules are working properly. And once you do that, you kind of give it to people who are able to test it, whether technical and non-technical people, because they'll give you a broad perspective on what you need to do in case you have a glitch in your form. And from there, you go into your piloting phase. And this can mean that you have to scale it from a particular facility. In my use case, since I work for a research organization, it could be scaled at one facility, see how the data comes through, and you get the feedback on how usable the form is. And now you go into the analytical part of things, which is you using an application programming interface, um, which is an API that allows you to connect DHIS2 to any BI solution. And in my case, I use Power BI to do this extraction of the data. Then you transform the data, making sure that it fits into a format that's easy for you to understand and that works. And then you can load your data for the purposes of you telling a bigger story with your data. So that's a way in which you can apply your knowledge with DHIS2. And a byproduct of this has been me being able to write articles. And a good article example is this one that I wrote, which is enhancing DHIS2 data analytics with Power BI. So I'm especially proud of this one because it made me break down DHIS2 fundamental concepts, and it even made me reflect on how much I know about DHIS2. Writing articles helped me digest these complex terminologies that we sometimes take for granted and help me simplify them. And the writing inspired me to write more because people in the community were having discussions about this. And it also helped me see that sometimes it's important for you to give your articles to someone who's not very technical. And my wife is an example. So every now and then when I write articles, I have a look at the articles to just make sure that I'm able to break down each and every component clearly. And this helps bridge that gap between technical and the analytical world. So here's an example of me posting an article that I wrote from the DHIS to from Medium onto the DHIS to Community of Practice. And primarily, like I said, the reason why I'm considering writing more articles is to inspire people to have discussions which you can utilize DHIS2 better. And you know the importance of doing this because sharing knowledge multiplies impact. So I am not the author or I'm not the source of all knowledge. So sometimes I might be building on a concept that has already been there, and I am just helping someone's learning journey be a lot shorter, and someone can get something from my article and even multiply that, and it may even improve and become better. So if I was to summarize everything, learning in public accelerates growth. You can see from my example. And it also steers this whole idea of growing together and shortening the learning curve. And primarily, at the end of the day, it also allows you to multiply the impact that you have. So it's not just about me doing this, it's about other people finding better ways of doing it. So, in a nutshell and in conclusion, the community of practice has been a guide for me from the beginning of my career to where I am. It's not just a forum that you use, but it's a network of people who have shared experiences and are willing to grow and push past their limits in a sense, you know. So, to everyone, thank you so much for being a part of the community and keeping the spirit alive. For newcomers, I hope you're going to be willing to learn more. I hope you're going to even contribute more. So let's keep learning together, applying, and sharing. So thank you so much for your time. At this point, I'll hand it back to Augustine. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayamiko. It's such a great presentation. I am very happy about to see you participating in the end of year event for the second time, actually. And so I appreciate your dedication and your continuation, your continuous efforts to support the community and send this message out there that this thing that the community gives us, which is basically growing together and learning from each other. This is a really great message. Thank you so much. And so now I hand off the screen to Basanta.
Okay, is it visible?
Yes, we can see you and hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone, all of the community members. Today, I'm gonna share you about my journey, my personal journey on how I became a digital architect from a public health professional. And this is where my journey starts. Sorry. Uh, it was 2016 when government of Nepal started aggregated DHIS2 reporting system. At that time, I was working at a district public health officer uh, at a district. I knew only about three things about the DHIS2. First thing, it was free of cost. The second thing, it was developed by University of Oslo. And the third thing, it was like a spreadsheet. No, we can use it as a tool to collect information at the end of the month and push it to the central server. But I was really interested on information and data. Uh, but I was not clear how can I progress in the career of information management and data and digitalization system. In early 2020, all of a sudden, COVID pandemic hit the country. Uh, at that time, I was working as a public health inspector. And we had a program for digitalization of health service, but because of COVID pandemic, we renamed that budget and diverted it to digitalize the COVID-19 vaccine program and built a custom system where we could enter the detail of the person who received vaccine. And it was successfully piloted into a municipality, and it was rolled out in other districts and municipalities and became the national system for COVID-19 vaccine management system. And that gave me huge courage to do something on digitalization sector. And then I get engaged with a project to digitalize all the health service recording tools that we had. Particularly, I think there were more than 30 registers that we digitalized all those registers and created a platform to push the monthly aggregate data based on that digital platform in 2021-22, I think. And we were the first municipality, the Toha municipality, which managed to replace all those analog registers with the digital register and push aggregate data on DHIS2 platform from this recording system. And this recording system was built from the scratch on different platform. Because of all these initiatives, I got chance to study further in UK, where I studied MSc in health data science and health informatics, where I learned about the interoperability standards and the global digital goods, all these things, and I returned back in Nepal in early mid 2024, and I reviewed all the platforms that I worked with different eye. At this point, all the systems that I used to present as the wonderful platform for the Nepal were black box for me. There was no space for innovation because all the systems were IT framework, like the codes were written on Java, and if I had to do something different, then I was not able to do because I had no experience with the code and all these IT language. So I learned about this DHIS2 from the community, and I tried to explore the things on DHIS2 community. And I came to realize that DHIS2 has the potential to record individual level data in a global standard way. DHIS2 have applications like tracker, capture, and all these applications have the potential to record individual level data. And these are based on standard and are scalable as well. So I was completely new in this area, but the solution for individual level recording was just in front of me inside the community. So I pivoted. I stopped trying, to do something in silos and started exploring things in the community. I became, some architect, to develop and to design and to standardize the basic health service workflow, and write some program rules, elements, and decision making logics in DHIS2 capture app. So along with my team of developers and ISMS experts and a couple of other friends, we locked up ourselves for almost 5 months in a room to develop integrated recording system for all of the public health interventions in Nepal, including family planning, immunization, maternal and child health, disease control, and all these public health initiatives. And in about half a year, we came with a comprehensive platform for recording basic health services. At that time, this right guy, the AI guy, it's a quite common platform for us. We used to use this a lot. Nowadays, it knows our questions even before we type the questions. So the community, especially the members in the community, were so active. We used to get our responses within a couple of hours. Gasim, now I don't know how for how many hours he works for DHIS2, but for me it seems like he works 24/7. We get a response so promptly that the DHIS2 community is really the developers community, the community of implementers, and the people all over the world with a diverse experience. So we were not alone. All the people from the community helped us to build a such comprehensive product for Nepal. And me personally, I worked being a public health professional. I learned everything from this data element, to variables, indicators, program rules, and all these things. And build something for the future, not just for the today, for the health system of Nepal. And during the designing process, what I learned was the user-centric design, and the users are the heroes of health system, the community level users, and their workflow. Understanding their workflow is crucial while designing the system, which I had learned during a 15-year career in health system. So converting these knowledge and about the workflow to program design was really crucial, and this was made possible by the community. And in this comprehensive platform was deployed in Tokha municipality again, where the vaccine project was implemented. This municipality is actually the learning of us. We implemented this customized capture app for recording basic health services, which was really scalable and global standard-based product. All the health workers, the managers in the municipality were really supportive, and they witnessed the real potential of DHIS2 on using data for the decision-making process, not only collecting data, which the previous platform was able to. The DHIS2 was customized based on the standard treatment protocols and all these protocols that we have to provide basic health services. It was initiative for the digitalization, not just the digitization of the form. So health workers were able to make decisions to improve the quality of care using the real-time data. So this platform that we developed was user-friendly, based on the program logics, and helped health worker to make real-time decision while providing the service. So this initiative was recognized by Ministry of Health and Population, Integrated Health Management Information Section of the Government of Nepal. Later on, the GIZ funded to expand this project on 8 other municipalities, and I'm working as a digital architect for designing and improving this workflow and this product to roll out in other part of the countries. And the government of Nepal has made commitment to use this product as a standard product for recording public health services in Nepal. And my role has changed. DHIS2 really has helped me a lot to grow professionally as well. So now my role has shifted to digital health evangelist, I must say, from the community health worker. Because the government of Nepal has already decided in the pathway to scale it up in other municipalities, and gradually, hopefully, this program will be the national program in a couple of years. So the key lessons that I learned during this process was instead of building something from the scratch, it's always better to build something that is globally available as a public good. Leveraging the knowledge of global goods really gives the power for the health system, instead of providing proprietary dead-in softwares. So the second thing I learned was IT engineers actually give life to the architect that the architect gives him. So public health professionals and health workers can work as a digital architect along with the IT team to develop a platform. So every health worker, with the help of the community, can be a digital architect to transform their analog register-based intervention to a digital intervention. For that, they don't need to become, they don't need to learn the code. And the third thing is definitely the community, the superpower of the community that already exists. Engaging with the community gives the power to develop something. You are not alone. Every health worker can be the digital enthusiast, a digital leader in a health sector with the help of this community and the DHIS2. And now I'm working as a digital architect for rolling out this public health initiative in other municipalities and working as a consultant for a digitalization process. And DHIS2 and its community academy, the AI assistants definitely helped me to grow professionally and in the area of digital health. And thank you so much for your time. I believe that it's possible, and with the help.
Thank you, Basanta. Thank you for giving your heart out, and sharing your story and your experience. And the community practice, the community, DHIS2 community is 24/7. Sometimes I can't even keep up myself, and I try. But luckily, I have the whole community. I have the DHIS2 core team with me, and thanks for all the tips, the key lessons learned that you shared. It's a really great presentation. Thank you. And right now, I'll give out the screen to Tahir, please. It's your turn to present. Okay.
Hi, everyone.
We can see you. Hi, Tahir. Okay, we can see you. I'm waiting for your screen sharing. If you want to go on full screen.
Yeah, is it full screen? Can you see the full screen?
Yes, and maybe if you look at, okay, now if you can look at the camera, okay, now we can see you properly. Okay. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Tahir Khalid, and I am currently working as an implementer and server admin at DHIS Pakistan. My journey to DHIS Pakistan, I started as an intern, like when I was doing my graduation. I have done my graduation from Bahria University in bachelor's in computer science, and I started my internship at DHIS Pakistan as a DHIS2 worker and implementer. So in the start, I didn't know about anything about health informatics and health public health background and anything, So, and the second thing, that the DHIS2 interface was totally different for me, like clicking the data element and selecting data elements, creating them, drag, dropping, everything was so new to me. And I was a fresh, so I didn't know what to do at that time. But luckily, I had some good mentors and teachers, and like my seniors are so supportive, and I get to know about the documentation, and I read the documentation. Many things I suggest everyone to always read documentation, because documentation is made for us. Like if a software is made, like the DHIS2 is made, so each and every aspect of it, every component, every feature, it is listed on the documentation. So we should read the documentation in order to understand every features. And after reading the documentation, I signed up on community of practice. First of all, I thought COP or community of practice meant like many people working and practicing and creating DHIS2 softwares on the community of practice platform. But when I signed in, and I got to know that, yeah, there people are asking questions and helping each other. So at that time, I started my server journey, server administrator journey. On the community of practice, my best teacher, you can say, was Qasim, because whenever I asked something, he was the first one to answer that question. What I learned in community of practice and DHIS2, my journey, that no question is too basic or no question is lame. If you have any question, either it's related from data element, creating data element, or to the server side or the backend or the APIs, you should ask. You should ask your seniors, your elders, or community of practice. On the community of practice, everyone there, it's free of cost, and everyone is there to support you. Okay, so what is the power of community of practice? The power of community practice is that there you can ask any question on that, and everyone is there to help you free of cost, anytime, 24/7. uh, I have also known many people on the community of practice that have helped me, like 20 plus community of members, including Tito, Qasim, everyone. They have helped me, and there are also when you start practicing and asking questions on community of practice, you get to know and you can answer questions of other people. Like if you know, yeah, how to create data element, how to do this, and you occur like someone is there on the community practice that is asking about data elements, you can answer them and you can help them out. This is what we are doing on the community practice, like sharing our knowledge. If I know one thing, I can share with other, and if other knows something, he can share with me. Okay, so after my when I was a internee, and I started to get to know about the basics of the DHIS2. With the help of my seniors, I get at that point when I created many standard reports like bulk user creation, drill drowning codes, and IDs of health facilities. I've created many standard reports, and that have helped me a lot. Other than that, I've created dataset reports and indicators. Like, I've created some browser extensions that help me to get the IDs from the online forms. And I have also, till now, I have learned also about the server administration, like how to install the servers or manually on Ubuntu, or automatically how to change the database. I think Qasim will remember, I asked him a question about the database, how can I change the database? And he said, like, you can unzip this and everything. So it's very helpful on the community of practice. Key lessons learned, like if you are new to DHIS2, there is not like you don't know anything, or you don't have to be like, I don't know anything, or I am down, or you shouldn't be like ashamed or embarrassed. It's There's a point where we all start from. So you should ask, either it's a small question or a big question, or like, ask it. Don't think like, what will that person say, how will I be portrayed on the community of practice. That doesn't matter, everyone there is to help you. So my advice to the whole world and my members and all the people on the community of practice is to uh, ask questions, share knowledge. You can start small, you can ask questions, and then you can engage with other peoples. And when you know enough, you can give back your effort or support to other people that are starting now. Okay, so that's my journey. And on the last, I would like to conclude that for everyone, they should ask questions on the community of practice and learn about the documentation. Always read the documentation, because documentation is there for us and everything is included in it. And if you have something if you have questions regarding the documentation or regarding anything else that you don't want to know, or your seniors don't know, you should go to the community of practice and ask there. Everyone, including me, including Qasim, everyone will be there to support you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tahar. Thank you for the great presentation, and thanks for highlighting that the community is there for everyone. And also, one thing about the community is also not just asking questions, but growing together. When we're learning, when we share our knowledge, when we share our stories, we're growing together. and there is a human-to-human connection. Sometimes it's easier to find information somewhere like in the docs, or sometimes it requires more clarification. But then all the questions, all the answers in the community practice, they kind of help the whole world. So it's not just helping me when I'm asking.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I actually don't remember the question about database, but I'll look at the post. You have a great memory. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for sharing. And it's a great presentation. Our next presenter is Greg. I'll hand off the screen to you. And okay, so we can see you.
Hi, everyone.
And hear you.
All right. I can't see myself. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
But would you like to share the screen first?
Of course.
Yeah, please.
Sorry.
Okay, now we can see your screen, and we can see you, we can hear you. That's great.
All right.
Thank
Great.
you.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Greg Rolls here. I work for HISP South Africa. South Africa are the current world champions, proud supporter of the Springboks. So just want to give a quick background. I started working with the DHIS in the sort of early days of the development with Carla Hedberg, whose call sign was ZUXML. His airplane had the call sign ZUXML, so that was a bit of a hint at who my sort of early mentor was. My sort of first encounter with Carla was in Cape Town. I was a junior developer, and this gentleman walked into offices wearing sandals, sunglasses. He had a crazy hairstyle and a voice that sort of defied reality. And the first thing he did before he even crossed through the doorway was berate a developer for creating a bug in the data entry form of the DHIS. And I managed to take a look at the application. And the first thing that I saw was the entire master facility list of South Africa's public health information system depicted in facility, sub-district, district level. And I was sort of amazed at how much data they had. They had years and years of data. I mean, I just fell in love with the project and what they were trying to do. So skipping forward a couple of years, there was a meetup in Cape Town. Oslo University students, masters and PhD students attended a workshop. They started building the DHIS2 web platform. Back in those days, we referred to it as the web DHIS. That would be people such as Knut, Ula, John Luis, and many others. Saeed, quite a few others. And at that time, I was forced to learn JSON. That was still very new at the time. Can you imagine? This is right after XML was the standard. API security. As South Africa migrated to the web-based DHIS, we started developing tools for organizations like SANAC, the South African National AIDS Council. We would create dashboarding tools and information visualization and exploration tools to assist decision makers, where to put people in communities to go engage to find out why HIV prevalence is so high. And I would do API calls to the very early national instance of DHIS2 in South Africa. And I sort of encountered what I describe as my sort of earliest win in the community, finding limits on the analytics API. And I was asked to provide evidence of that. So in my next screen, I'm going to try to say that I convinced Lars to include numerator denominator support in the analytics API, but I would probably prefer to say that I coerced quite a few people in quite a short time, because I was having to do dual API calls to calculate numerator and denominator values in our reports. As you can see here, we were trying to represent health outcomes, but also give users the ability to try to rank and organize according to the highest case counts for HIV positivity, or the largest populations by denominator. And over the course of about 6 months, there was some back and forth in the community requesting support for this. I learned after I requested, because at that stage the developers were quite responsive to the needs in South Africa, that there was already a blueprint, but we still went ahead and created a draft specification. And I was very happy with between February and July, we had the version 2.21, I believe it was 2.21, incorporated with the new feature for numerator and denominator with factor. So jumping forward now to where we are today, this year has been quite challenging. And I can only say that I'm grateful that I've had the community be as responsive as it has. Many of us have been playing around with AI and NLP tools. And one of the issues I encountered was with the Visualizer API. After some community posts and engagements with Gift from HISP Tanzania, we set up a call. We had previously chatted to them about the FlexiPortal app, but they gave us some pointers on the use of or customizations for the analytics API calls in relation to the Visualizer API endpoints. And after my last discussion with Gift, there were some recommendations. I think there were 2 clear recommendations that we sort of came up with, and he was going to facilitate that. And then on the most recent community support event, we implemented the legacy custom form plugin. We had no idea how the security permissions needed to be designed, and we discovered that. Thank you, Muzaffar. Thank you, DHIS2 front-end developer team. He set up a Slack discussion chat with me. He dedicated 3 to 4 hours of his day, and we ended up with a checklist that gave us the sort of guidelines and the solution on how to tailor the maintenance security permissions for various attributes, options, and category options, etc. And then also, most recently, well, I would say Turbo, that's not much recent. Thank you to Eric for the incredible presentation and demo you guys have done on the use of AI. Cursor has been incredible. It's a little pricey, I'm not going to lie, but I think there's a trial license that I used, and I was able to develop things in an incredibly short period of time. So closing thoughts. I don't think all challenges or technical problems can be demonstrated on DHIS2 demo instance. I know that there are security restrictions, specifically for the default users that are made available. For example, you can't upload reports, and I'm a report developer guy. I love to play around with Leaflet and different plugins and create crazy type of reports. And there's just 1 or 2 restrictions. I understand that there's probably a very good reason for that. Someone had to create a situation where it was required, but I would just ask that consider some leniency for the community members, special accounts, and in general, security guys and admins, please trust your developers. If you are doing your backups correctly, there should be no risk in giving broad access to developers to experiment and play around with new tools and those sort of things. The risk to reward ratio right now is incredibly high, especially with what's going on with AI. Developers make more time for the developers. This I experienced with the overwhelming support and back and forth that I've had with the different people in the community. I would say you should think about being open to the idea of trying to at least make one engagement, even set up a call to assist another developer. There's nothing more rewarding than finding someone discover something that you hadn't even considered and learning from each other. I think We all have different levels of experience, and we should be generous with our time if it allows. And then, yeah, sponsors or employers, please make provisions for AI tools and licenses for your teams and your developers. Yes, again, the community has shown what's possible with AI, how they're using it and how they're building solutions and how it's helping them. And we are a complex community of problem solvers. I think that, we all are coming from different institutions on different continents in different countries, and we all have programs that are implemented at different administrative levels down to facility within communities. And we're all trying to solve similar but potentially common problems. And I also think it's not only about learning about what works from each other, but also learning how to approach problem solving in a different way, because we all think in different ways. There's a great opportunity to approach problem solving in different ways and learn from each other in that way. And then on a final note, I think great opportunities still lie ahead. I think we should plan ahead. I know the DHIS2 is the backbone for information infrastructure and for service delivery. And we've seen that with health. We're starting to see that with education. I think we should plan ahead for things such as ecology, conservation, water, river management, and wherever there's underinvestment and reliance on well-functioning or available resources. I think DHIS has got a great potential for assisting in those things. And with that, I just want to say thank you, and may everyone continue to grow and learn in 2026. Thank you all.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for your developer perspective presentation, and from the perspective of a developer and talking about the community. I appreciate that, and I appreciate presentation. There was a comment in the chat. It says, from Nora, it says that you're actually the first person to post in the COP. And this was mentioned in, I think, last year's end of year. And what I did is I looked up the first post that was non-core team, and it was your post. So I think we're running off in time. I'm really sorry. There was sort of a technical issue at the start when testing the screen sharing. But I just want everyone to know there's going to be a recording that's going to be shared, and what we'll have next is a mentee and developer news from Kai, and then some COP spotlights. We'll share the top 10 members in DHIS2 Community in the year 2025. So I'll hand it off to you, Kai. And
thanks, Qasim. Since we're a little over time, what do you think about I just do a quick developer update and then maybe do the mentee at the end for those who can stay?
Yes, please.
After your COP practice? Okay. Well,
okay. Let's do that.
Yes, here we go. So I'll try to keep it short and sweet. On the developer side of the community things, and just generally, I just want to say, first of all, thank you to everyone who's been participating in the community. I am super impressed by these stories and really heartened to see how people have been sharing knowledge, making connections, collaborating, and becoming more effective together. And I think that that's a really great success of the community, and everyone who engages supports that effort. So kudos to everyone who's been a part of the community, and keep it up. We love to see more, and we're there for you. The next thing is coming up in the future next year. Some teasers for what's coming in the developer world. We'll share some updates on contributions that have been going on with some of the developers that we're working with between HIS groups and the core team. We have some things that Gift, Davis, and Alan from HISP Tanzania have been working on, and Sumit from HISP India. Some very cool things that we want to highlight. We'll talk about that in the next developer meetup. And also some new features that we're excited to share from the app platform. Things like a kind of modernization of our app platform and CLI tools to work with any package manager. Previously, that was kind of tied to Yarn Classic. But now you can use anything from NPM or PNPM to manage your apps, which should be a big upgrade. That plus the app runtime, we will externalize the data engine from that so that you can use these kind of data fetching libraries for DHIS2 outside of React contexts. So anyone using Angular or Vue apps should benefit from that a lot. The last quick update that I'll give is I'm excited to introduce a new player in the developer community here. We have Lina from the core team who will join us, and I know she has some great ideas and good energy to add to the developer community. And I am happy to say that you'll be hearing more from her. And I just want to turn it over to her to say hello and anything else that she might want to say right now. Let's see. Do I need to turn off my spotlight so that she can talk? I'll stop sharing my screen for a second.
You can be in the spotlight. Hi, everyone. It's very nice to be here. I'm Lina. I'm the QA lead of DHIS2. And actually, I'm very excited to learn from you. And I'm still fairly new here. So if you have any kind of feedback or stories, I'd love to hear them. You may have met me on Jira before. So if you report a bug, usually I talk to you. But I still have lots to learn here. And yeah, just reach out, say hi. Thanks.
Thanks, Lina. So I think that's the quick round of updates from the developer side. I'll hand it back over to Gosim to talk about the community himself, and then if we have some time at the end, we can do the interactive quiz.
Amazing. Okay, thank you. I'm going to start by sharing my screen really quickly. Can you see my screen?
Loading. Looks good.
Okay, that's great. So I had a couple of slides, but really we're running late. So I just want to say that we have new badges in the COP that are focused basically on the community, focused on your experience, your user experience. But if you want the details, please look up the badges or post questions in the COP topic. The next slide is also what we are planning in 2026 is more community meetups. An example of, we already know the developer meetups, but we're trying new meetups, such as the LMIS meetup. And thanks to everyone who voted in the LMIS post. And with a new registration, we have one-click registration. You automatically receive the Zoom link and the calendar invitation. Okay, so I'll start some of the spotlights from the community members. And let me start with the top 10 community members during 2025. Okay, ready? So these are the top 10 community members throughout the year in 2025. Thank you for posting, for, being logged in the community and sharing your knowledge and learning from others. And, it's a progress that helps the community. We will be posting these screenshots in the discussion topic, so you can check everyone out. And then, so do you know who was tagged as helpful community member more than 10 times in the COP monthly? Not just one person. Actually, many of you were tagged many times. And so the COP monthly, for anyone who's new, is a yearly post, is a monthly post where we highlight the community support, feature request, people who actually send feature requests or ideas, bug hunters, and active and helpful people in the community. And then, so can you guess who received more than 10 COP badges in 2025? Again, not just one person, quite a number. Thanks for participating. And actually, they've received a lot. And in the Menti, you'll see one of these people actually received more than 100 badge in total. Okay, so I try to make myself quick because I don't have a lot of time. And some of the insights you actually learn in the Menti, which is also a short and fun activity. And I hand it off to Kai.
Okay, great. That was pretty quick. Thanks, Qasim.
Yeah,
Let's
thank
see.
you.
So I'll start this. Oops. Just a moment. Let me get it set up. Okay, so this is a little bit of an interactive quiz on, let's see, is that visible now? On some of the kind of statistics from the community of practice generally, but then also some of the developer focused things. So you can join this by going to menti.com and use that code there to sign in. And there'll be a couple questions, and you can choose a name. And we'll play a game. Great. 5 people so far.
You'll be able to see the questions in the screen. I mean, you don't have to see it on the screen share if you're worried about going to the mentiwebsite.com. That's right, Kai, right?
I think that you will see the questions on my screen. I'm not actually sure. I forget. Maybe both.
Yeah,
but you'll have.
I think it's both. I think it's both.
There will at least be a time. The way that this will go is you'll see the question come up for 5 seconds before anyone gets a chance to answer, and then there'll be a time to answer. Okay, 13 is pretty good. Maybe we'll get started. You can always join in as it's continuing. This information at the top will stay there, so you can join at any time. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, starting with the first question. How many posts were posted in the community of practice in 2025? 1693, 2693, or 4693? The answer is 4,693 posts in 2025. Very nice. That's a lot of activity. Quiz leaderboard. All right, Megamind's in the lead. Let's go ahead and go to the next question. Which community member has more than 100 community of practice badges? Like Qasim said, is it Gift & Co., Eric Chingalo, or Maya Miko Menda Menda? The answer is it's Gift. Our famous Gift being an extremely active community member. Thank you, Gift. You're much appreciated. And the badges reflect that, hopefully. Next up. How many DHIS2 community members have presented in end-of-the-year events? 4, 50, or 16? It's 16. So we've had the end of the year event a couple years now. Is that right, Qasim? And so we've had several people.
This is our fifth time. So if you add, there were 3 each year. This time we had 4. If you add it up, it's 16.
All right, yeah. We exceeded
10.
we exceeded expectations that time. Thanks for those that thought that there were 50. We'll get there soon. Excellent. We'll recap the scores later. Next question. Now we're on the developer-focused questions. How many developer meetup attendee badges were claimed this year? So if you show up to the developer meetup, that close to the end of the session, you get a link that you can use to claim the badge on the community of practice. Are there 56, 106, or 206? $206 badges this year. And that's less than the number that have attended each of these meetings, because not everyone clicks on them at the end of the meeting. But congrats and thank you to everyone joining those. Fifth question. What was the most attended developer meetup this year? Between using AI in apps, using AI for development assistance, or building public portals with FlexiPortal? That is right. It was the AI development assistance one, hosted by Eirik. As Greg mentioned, that one was very popular, and I think, yeah, inspiring for a lot of people, even on the core team here. Let's go ahead to the last one. Or the last quiz question. How many new apps were submitted to the App Hub in 2025? 4, 18, or 16? It was 16 new apps, which is more than one a month. A very rich year for apps, and they take some time to review, but we're nearly done with all of them. And it's really great to have those hosted, and I think it's awesome to see the kinds of extensions that people are making. And this is just on the front end and the ones that are shared on the App Hub. So that's really cool. Thanks everyone for participating with your apps. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. And let's see. The winner is Arif. Congratulations. Well guessed. Good knowledge on the developer and DHIS2 community of practice. You win. Kudos. Yeah, Gassan.
Yeah, I think this is Arif, who presented in 2020, one of the first presenters in the end of year event. So welcome, Arif. If it's you, you can raise your hand or just say hi if you want to say hi. And thank you for joining today.
Amazing. Yeah, way to go, Arif. So nice to have you here. And the last question for everyone while you're here. What topics would you like to see for developer meetups in 2026? This can be anything that you would like to hear from other developers on. And I think hopefully you have a screen on your Menti to answer here. Okay, yeah. We'd love to have ideas for, how we can organize groups that will be helpful for you. Performance is a really great question. There's a lot that can be done in terms of like configuration and server setup that can be valuable for that, depending on the use case. Also, it's always helpful to get feedback on things that would be useful in the core. That's something that we would really always love to get whenever, and feel free to join the meetups, and hopefully we'll have a little time for kind of open questions and stuff that you can kind of bring things up that you've noticed, or ask questions, or talk about things that are relevant in this kind of meetup environment sometimes it feels weird to make a post and easier to just ask a question. So hopefully you can do that in these developer meetups too. Quality bits from Lina. Okay. We can definitely have that. She's got lots of great advice. Plugins workshop. Absolutely, we can do that. Start local meetups in a respective country. That's a very cool idea. We have a wish to have more kind of in-person meetups for the developer community. So that's very cool to hear. Integration and interoperability. Yeah, we have some like reference implementations in the pipeline, and some kind of practices and advice on integrations and those things coming. Testing-driven development for users to influence apps developed in the DHIS2 community. Yeah, that is a great point. Hopefully, yeah, more COP. Totally. Yes, we definitely want more of those channels to get feedback from the world on how things are used and get real input from people using DHIS2 on what's important. So let's definitely do that. Thank you for all of these great ideas. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being part of such a good community here. We'll take these and start organizing developer meetups for next year. And then to wrap up, I think I'll hand it back to Gautam to finish us off today.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks, Guy. I enjoyed the Menti. And I didn't answer the COP questions because I knew them. But I tried to participate in the other ones. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. And it's amazing that you even stayed this long. What I want to say as a reminder is there's this COP topic. It's posted. It's in the messages. So please use that COP topic to actually follow up with the presenters if you have any questions, or if you have any comments. I saw there was a lot of chat messages on the Zoom, and so you also welcome to post those on the community, which your questions, your comments, or compliments, that would be really great. So it was a great year 2025, and it feels like we're ready for 2026, and we'll have more community participation and more people and sharing of this insights and knowledge. So I don't know, what should I say, Kai? Anything else? Thank you.
I think that's awesome. Thank you so much for being a big organizer in the community, Gautam.
Thanks.
And
Thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to next year.
Yeah, same here. Thank you. And big thanks to the DHIS2 core team. I mean, when people mention me in presentations, I'm like, oh, yeah, true. But I try to help, but it's the whole core team. It's the community. It's, yeah. But okay, then we'll see you in the COP, in the community practice. See you in the next dev meetup as well. It's going to be in next year in 2026. And we'll be in touch.